Being a professional wrestler isn't just about taking bumps and cutting promos, it's about politics, patience, and knowing when not to hit post. Best wrestlers master the art of playing nice with the people who sign their checks, but every so often someone decides to go full scorched earth, walking out mid-storyline, trash-talking the boss, or showing up on the competition show the next night. I'm Senor Siete for 7 Wrestling. Let's take a look at 7 WWE wrestlers who burned bridges. Now, before we jump into this, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop kick that notification bell. Number 1. Lex Luger. Let's stroll through the wreckage of Lex Luger's WWE exit, because this is less glory of the total package and more how to burn a bridge in spectacular fashion. Luger came into the WWE in early the 1990s with the kind of push most talents only dream of. He body slammed Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid as part of an all-American hero gimmick and rode that pop onto the Lex Express tour. Now, we make fun of the Lex Express today, but make no mistake, this build said future champion. The result, a landmark countout win over Yokozuna at SummerSlam 93 that should have been the coronation, but was not, because championships don't change hands on countouts. Instead, they let him celebrate a lame victory like he just won the friggin' Super Bowl. That's the moment the push started drowning in red, white, and blue balloons of confusion. Then came the 1994 Royal Rumble. Luger and Bret Hart fought their way to the final 2, fell over the top rope at almost exactly the same time, and were declared the co-winners. Luger was still riding the wave, or so it seemed, but here's where things fell apart. It was clear the fans were way more into Bret than they were into Lex. Lex was put into a tag team with the British Bulldog that didn't go anywhere. Then, in September of 1995, Luger pulled off one of the best magic tricks ever, vanishing from WWE and reappearing on WCW Nitro the very next night. No notice, no farewell, just poof. Total package has left the building. Vince McMahon, who prided himself on controlling every molecule of his empire, reportedly lost his mind. Luger had been wrestling for the WWE literally the day before, so seeing him stroll onto TNT in a weird collarless shirt was like finding your ex at dinner with your biggest rival. It was wrestling's ultimate mic drop, and Vince was left picking up the pieces of his precious Monday night. Needless to say, Luger never got an in-ring return run after WCW died, but he must be on good terms with the company now, seeing as he was recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Number 2. Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett may not have invented the phrase, "get that bag," but he sure turned it into an art form in 1999. See, Double J was the Intercontinental Champion heading into No Mercy, where he was booked to drop the belt to Chyna, the first woman to ever win a men's single title in WWE history, until the hardcore belt came along. There was just one tiny problem. Jarrett's contract had expired the day before the pay-per-view, and instead of playing nice, he decided to turn it into the most expensive farewell match in company history. Jarrett reportedly told Vince that if the WWE wanted him to show up and lose the belt, like a professional, they'd have to cut him a fat same-day check, somewhere around $300,000. Now, Jarrett has claimed this was money he was due to him, but depending on who you ask, Vince, of course, had no choice but to pay up, because you can't exactly promote Chyna makes history and then have your champ no-show out of spite. So Jeff got his money, did the job, and left for WCW faster than you can say slap nuts. Timing couldn't have been worse for Vince, as now his big gender barrier moment came with a side order of blackmail. Jarrett became persona non grata in WWE for years after that, even getting fired live on TV during Vince's Monday Night War victory lap. Still, you gotta respect it. While most wrestlers leave their boots in the ring, Jeff Jarrett left with a briefcase full of Vince McMahon's money. Guy held up the most powerful man in wrestling and walked away richer. Aw, ain't he great? Number 3. Alundra Blayze. In the 1990s, the Monday Night War was less about brand loyalty and more about who could stab who in the back with the biggest TV moment possible. And few did it quite like Alundra Blayze, better known to WCW fans as Medusa. You see, Alundra was the face of the WWE's women's division back in the 90s, mostly because she was the division. She was a legitimate wrestler in an era where there weren't a lot of women wrestlers. When WWE stopped caring about women's wrestling, for the 100th time, they released her while she was still the reigning champion. A few weeks later, WCW came calling and Alundra saw an opening. On December 18th, 1995, she marched onto Monday Nitro with the WWE Women's title in hand. Right there on live TV, she dumped the belt in a trash can. It was the ultimate middle finger to Vince McMahon, a move so bold, even Eric Bischoff later admitted it might have gone too far. Vince didn't see it as great TV, he saw it as treason. Alundra was blacklisted for nearly 2 decades, she wasn't mentioned, her footage wasn't used in her name, might as well have been etched on WWE's internal do not call list. The belt was in the trash and so was her WWE career, at least until the company realized that grudges don't sell Hall of Fame tickets. 2015, the ice thawed. Alundra was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and even got to symbolically remove the belt from the trash. It was a full circle moment, proof that in wrestling no bridge is ever burned forever. It just needs 20 years and a good PR angle to rebuild. Number 4, Ryback. Ryback. Remember him? Guy who rode into WWE like a one-man demolition crew with chants and "Feed Me More" echoing from every corner of the arena. He had the size, the body, the muscles. That's all the same stuff, right? I don't know. I never really got Ryback, but, fans are super into him. Vince McMahon, however, apparently didn't get the memo because instead of letting Ryback become the next Goldberg, Batista-type juggernaut, WCW decided to slowly turn the loudest, most hyped guy on the roster into background noise. Then Ryback did what any frustrated wrestler would do. He left, officially gone in 2016, but not quietly. No. He grabbed the megaphone, told the world that the WWE had lied to him, limited him, and basically turned him into a hamster running in circles on the Monday night treadmill. He called out Vince, the writers, creative, basically everyone in the building who didn't give him the nuclear rocket push he felt he deserved. He threw legal letters, social media warnings, and domain disputes onto the pile. In wrestling, leaving a company can be subtle. A quiet handshake, a polite farewell, but Ryback, he made it a fireworks show, complete with a t-shirt cannon of shade. He didn't just burn the bridge, he staged a full-on demolition, left smoke signals, and then tweeted about it for years afterwards. And obviously, we don't have time to highlight all of his aggressive tweets, so we'll just mention the one where he called Vince McMahon's mother a whore. Congrats, Ryback. You didn't just walk away from the WWE, you staged a full-on exit spectacle worthy of a headline, "Big Guy Burns Bridge." Number 5, Randy Savage. Here's how the Macho Man Randy Savage officially turned from legend to loose cannon in the eyes of WWE, left behind a smoldering bridge. When his contract expired in late 1994, he didn't politely ride off into the sunset. Instead, he picked up his Slim Jim and cashed out for the rival World Championship Wrestling, leaving WWE blindsided and Vince McMahon publicly announcing the split on Raw, which was very rare at that time. The issue that really lit the fuse, Savage refused WWE's plan to transition him into a full-time commentary position. He wanted his boots laced tight, not retiring his elbow drop for a headset mic. According to 2000 IGN interview, he told WWE, "I'm not ready to take off my boots at that point." Not only did WWE lose one of its biggest talents, they felt betrayed, especially since Savage allegedly promised he wouldn't follow Hogan to WCW. Instead, 1 week after WWE's acknowledgement, the Macho Man showed up on WCW's Saturday Night, ready to go. And to add insult to injury, multiple credible sources say Randy Savage took his Slim Jim sponsorship with him from WWE to WCW when he left in the mid-90s. According to Eric Bischoff, Savage's new contract was basically paid for by Slim Jim's advertising revenue. The deal reportedly annoyed WWE management as the snack brand pulled its promotional value out of the WWE and followed Savage as he jumped ship. The fallout, Savage's name became a taboo backstage topic. Photos of him were pulled off the walls. His history with the company was conveniently buried, and for years, WWE acted like he never existed. And yeah, there's that rumor, but come on, that's never been verified. However, it seems like the relationship between Savage and WWE was mending before his passing as the company started to release merchandise and video games that featured the Macho One. Just a shame that he never got some kind of return angle or Hall of Fame speech. Number 6, Stephanie Vaquer. AEW might not have owned Stephanie Vaquer's contract, but they sure helped make her a household name. When Vaquer squared off against Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door, she went from that talented Chilean CMLL wrestler to holy crap, who is this woman? Overnight. AEW gave her the biggest stage of her career, a global audience, and more Twitter buzz than most wrestlers get in a lifetime. And then, in true wrestling fashion, she took that spotlight, packed her bags, and used it to leapfrog straight to the WWE. AEW built the hype, but the WWE cashed the check. Vaquer was supposed to be the crossover star for the women's division. She held both the CMLL and New Japan Strong women's titles. Fans were already hyped to see her take on more dream matches, but then she ghosted, like full on, removed me from the group chat levels of gone. Without warning, Vaquer skipped her farewell matches and instead showed up in the WWE Wrestling World's version of announcing your engagement by changing your Facebook status to married. CMLL and New Japan were blindsided. They'd been promoting her appearances, booking her for shows, and suddenly she was just out. Promotions weren't mad she left, they were mad she didn't finish her commitments. Reports say that CMLL felt betrayed. New Japan had to shuffle the cards at the last minute. WWE, of course, shrugged and said, we don't love it, but we'll take it. So, did Stephanie Vaquer make the right move? Maybe. But she also proved that if you're going to jump ship, at least make sure you finished your matches first, because in wrestling, leaving while holding the gold isn't a power move, it's a real heat magnet. Number 7, Matt Riddle. Riddle showed up in WWE with buzz, talent, and a body built like an MMA starter kit, teamed up with Randy Orton under the RK Bro banner, and even scored the United States title and Raw Tag Team belts. Then things got messy. In September of 2023, the WWE released him, citing failed drug tests and other off-the-clock drama. Post-WWE, if you were hoping for humility or silence, you got the opposite. Riddle went on record slinging dirt. He called CM Punk a creep, challenged him to a bare-knuckle fight, and alleged that AJ Lee got around. Let's be clear, leaving on bad terms is nothing new in wrestling, but Riddle didn't exit quietly. He turned the farewell into a headline, dubbed himself misunderstood, and kept spinning commentary long after the doors closed. Didn't just burn that bridge, man. He lit his bong with the smoldering embers. Is that how you do that? I don't know. So yeah, Riddle was talented. He had the look, the ring skills, and the crowd buzz, but when you combine backstage chaos, substance abuse issues, and public feuds, your return ticket is probably gonna get canceled. Well, there's our list. Can you think of any other WWE wrestlers who burned bridges? If so, please let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and bro Derek that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Senor Siete for 7 Wrestling saying bye-bye.